Ever noticed how the smallest, most unintentional things you do can leave the biggest impression? From a casual glance to the way you carry yourself, these subtle moves can spark attraction in ways you'd never imagine. Today, we're diving into 6 accidental moves that drive women wild, without you even trying. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll see yourself in a whole new light. And so will she. 1. Commanding body language. Let's start with something most men don't think twice about, but women notice instantly. Your body language. Before you've even said a word, she's already caught on to how you feel about yourself. Is it confidence, relaxation, uncertainty? She can feel it all, and trust me, it sends her a direct message. A guy walks into a room, stands tall, shoulders naturally relaxed, chest slightly open. He's not slouching, fidgeting, or shrinking into himself. He's just there, owning his space without trying too hard. That's magnetic. It screams, I know who I am, and I'm comfortable with it. Women pick up on that like radar, because it radiates strength and leadership. Now compare that to a guy who walks in slouched over, shifting his weight nervously, maybe playing with his phone. One commands attention, the other fades into the background. Another subtle but oh so sexy move, the relaxed lean. You know when a guy casually leans against a wall or bar, looking like he has all the time in the world. That effortless, I'm good wherever I am, energy is seriously attractive. It says, this guy isn't desperate for attention or approval, he's just comfortable. And that draws her in. Then there's how you move. Slow, intentional movements are like silent flirtation. A man who doesn't rush, who walks like he owns every step, that's the kind of guy who gets noticed. On the flip side, if you're pacing, looking frantic, or fidgeting, it's a major turnoff. Women love a man who seems in control. Not just of his environment, but of himself. The secret, it's not about puffing out your chest or putting on a show. It's about subtle signals that say, I'm strong, I'm relaxed, and I know exactly who I am. When your body language speaks confidence without any effort, she'll notice, even if you didn't mean to make an impression. 2. Casual touch that feels natural. All right, gentlemen, listen up, because this one is a game changer. Touch. Not the obvious kind, but those subtle, fleeting touches you probably don't even think twice about. They're like sparks, tiny ignition points that light up her attention without setting off any alarms. And when done right, trust me, she'll remember it. Here's how it works. Imagine this scenario. You're walking into a room with her, and as you guide her in, your hand lightly brushes the small of her back. You don't linger, you don't make it a big deal, but that one little touch, it sends a message. Or how about when you're laughing together and you gently touch her arm for just a second? Like it's the most natural thing in the world. That's the kind of touch that leaves her wondering, was that intentional? Or am I just imagining things? Now here's the trick. For this to work, it has to feel effortless. If you hesitate or overthink it, it'll feel awkward, and no one wants that. But if it's casual and smooth, like it's simply part of the way you interact with the world, it makes you stand out. Why? Because confidence is contagious. You being comfortable makes her feel comfortable, and comfort is the breeding ground for attraction. Most guys either avoid touch altogether or go way overboard, which shuts things down fast. But if you master the art of relaxed, confident touch, it's a whole different story. It tells her, on a subconscious level, that you're grounded, assured, and sure of yourself, without being pushy. She won't just see it, she'll feel it. And here's the kicker. Once a woman associates you with that kind of energy, the kind that feels easy, safe, and just a little electric, she'll find reasons to be close to you. Suddenly, you're not chasing her. She's choosing to lean in, all because you knew how to communicate interest without saying a single word. 3. Unintended displays of status and leadership. Here's a little secret women won't usually tell you. They're not just looking at how you look or what you say. No, they're paying attention to the energy you bring. And one of the most attractive types of energy, leadership. Now, I'm not talking about the loud, attention-seeking kind. I mean the quiet, natural confidence that makes people want to follow your lead, without you even realizing it. You're out with a group, and decisions need to be made. Where are we heading next? Most guys will awkwardly look around, hoping someone else will take charge. But then there's the guy who steps up, smiles, and says, "Let's check out this spot. I think you'll love it." No hesitation, no need for anyone's approval. That's real leadership, and women notice. It's the little things that make the biggest impact, like the guy who confidently orders at a restaurant without hemming and hawing over the menu, or the man who casually asks his friends for input, but ultimately makes the call himself. It's not about arrogance, it's about certainty, and certainty is sexy. Now, don't think you need to be rich, flashy, or drop names to appear like a leader. True status isn't about what you wear or what you drive. It's about how you carry yourself. Do you walk into a room like you belong there, like you have nothing to prove? That energy is magnetic. It shows you're comfortable with who you are, and that kind of confidence is like a beacon for her attention. Here's the bottom line. Women are drawn to men who show, through their actions, that they know how to handle life. It's not about trying too hard. It's about being grounded. When you embody that natural air of leadership without pushing it, you're not just noticed, you're unforgettable. The confident voice and tonality. All right, this one's a secret weapon most men don't realize they're carrying. Your voice? Yes, the way you speak says more than the actual words coming out of your mouth. A deep, relaxed tone that feels steady, calm, and unhurried. Oh, that sets the stage for a level of confidence women can feel without you even trying. Why does it work? Because your voice isn't just sounds, it's energy. Speak too fast, stumble over your words, or have your tone crack under pressure, and she'll read it as uncertainty. But take your time, speak deliberately, with just the right pauses, like you're completely sure of what you're saying, even if you're just talking about where to get coffee. And that slow, poised rhythm tells her you're not in a rush to impress. And don't even get me started on the art of playful teasing. Imagine casually smirking as you say something like, "Oh, really? You think you're quicker than me?" That's adorable. It's not what you say, but how you say it. That slightly mischievous tone adds a layer of intrigue that keeps things fun and flirty without going overboard. Now, there's also the secret weapon of lowering your voice. Picture this. You lean in slightly closer, slow down your speech, and drop your tone just a notch. Instantly, things feel a little more intimate, a little more personal, like the moment belongs to just the two of you. And here's the kicker. Not only does it draw her in, but it also makes you come across as calm and collected. The best part, it's not about faking anything. The key is being completely at ease. When your voice carries that quiet confidence, you don't need to say much. She'll tune into the energy behind your words, and that alone can leave her hooked, without you even realizing you've done anything at all. The power of intense eye contact. Now, if there's one thing men underestimate, it's the sheer power of eye contact. A single gaze can say everything you need without speaking a word. But here's the kicker. Not just any kind of eye contact will work. It's all about how you hold it. A man who locks eyes with her for just a moment longer than expected. That's the guy who leaves an impression she won't forget. Think about it. If you're constantly looking away, fidgeting, or nervously avoiding her gaze, she'll feel it. Uncertainty, unease, a lack of confidence. That's what she'll pick up on. But what happens when a man holds her stare, effortlessly, with just a hint of a smirk? Ooh, that's magnetic. It's not desperate, it's deliberate. A subtle, quiet, "I see you, and I'm not afraid to show it" kind of energy. Then there's the beauty of the look away and return. Imagine this. You capture her eyes, hold the moment, look away smoothly, and then glance back. That second look, it feels intentional, like you couldn't help but notice her, again. And trust me, women pick up on that. It's like saying, "Yes, you caught my attention, but I'm not quite ready to make it obvious." That balance of interest and mystery, immediate intrigue, The trick isn't about staring her down. That's just plain awkward. Instead, hold just enough eye contact to make her feel noticed, but leave a little space for tension to build. It's that unspoken connection, that silent dialogue through your gaze, that creates the pull. She'll start to wonder what you're thinking, and suddenly, the chemistry shifts. When you know how to use your eyes, not too much, not too little, but just right, you create this irresistible moment that draws her in. Because a man who can communicate confidence and intention through his gaze alone, that's a man she won't forget anytime soon. 6. The unintentional challenge factor. Here's the deal with attraction. Sometimes, it's not what a man does, but what he doesn't do that drives a woman wild. And one of the most captivating moves, being just a little harder to pin down. Not in a fake playing games kind of way, but by genuinely living your life on your own terms. Most guys, when they meet a woman they like, lean in too hard. They try to prove themselves, offer constant attention, and in doing so, make it too easy. The dynamic shifts, and she feels like she's already won. But the man who's interested, but not bending over backward to prove it, that's the man who keeps her intrigued. It's not arrogance, it's subtle confidence. Imagine this scenario. A woman texts you, and instead of replying immediately, you take a little time. Because, well, you're busy. Or when you're chatting, you give her enough attention to keep things fun, but never so much that it feels like she's the center of your universe. That bit of unpredictability, that's the sweet spot. It creates a sense of mystery, where she starts wondering about you, thinking, wait, is he really interested? Or do I need to work a little harder here? And don't get it twisted. This isn't about ignoring her or playing hard to get. That's cheesy and forced. It's about genuinely being a man who has his own life, his own plans, and isn't dropping everything the moment she enters the picture. Ironically, that's exactly what makes you more interesting. Women naturally want what feels just out of reach, and the men who create that effect aren't even trying to. They're living authentically, with their own priorities, goals, and pace. And that's magnetic. Because when a man is hard to figure out, not in a frustrating way, but in a, he's got his own thing going on way, she can't help but want to get closer. And once she does, every little glimpse into your world feels like a win. The beauty of these 6 accidental flirting moves lies in their authenticity. They aren't about using cheesy pickup lines or pretending to be someone you're not. Instead, they reflect confidence, presence, and subtle charisma, qualities that naturally draw people in. Whether it's the way you speak, the playful way you tease, or the power behind intentional eye contact, each move creates an organic connection that feels effortless. By understanding the art of balance, showing interest without overdoing it, being intriguing without being distant, you unlock the kind of magnetism that leaves a lasting impression. At the core of it all, remember this: when you're comfortable in your own skin and genuinely living your life, attraction happens naturally. There's no need to fake it, because the most captivating thing you can be is yourself.